again. Another night of being bummed. I keep to myself, avoid society, cancel plans with everyone I know.
Welcome back to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. We're the casting Archon. And we have some rather unfortunate news.
Yes, we do.
To bring to your attention.
Yes. Boxer, fake boxer, Marine King, Optimus, whatever you want to call this guy, he will not be playing today. Next line, his opponent, the Zerg player, is actually in the hospital. He's
been
extremely sick, and he cannot play. So Boxer will move forward by default, and we will be skipping that match.
We do not know why he's in the hospital, other than that he's very ill.
Yeah.
And we hope he gets better soon. And we hope we can see him in the next GSL.
Yeah, that's too bad,
That's
man.
really unfortunate.
It's actually very sad to see that happen.
Yeah, it's too bad.
He even made round of 32 last season. So
yeah. So hopefully he gets better soon. And we're sorry, but we're only going to have 4 best of 3s for this first half of the day.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go straight to the next match.
That is GuMiho, Foyu, the random player, the one random player. Amazing that he even made it into this tournament.
It's actually almost impossible. I used to play random in StarCraft 1, and I did it in the start of StarCraft 2, but eventually you just have to actually pick a race.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be serious about this. I mean, it's nice to know, the other matchups, to have a feel for them, but honestly, I never honestly thought we'd see a random player get this far. If he gets to the round of 32, that's actually insane, because that's not supposed to be possible. So this is definitely a player to watch for.
Yeah.
And of course, one thing about random, and we don't really talk about this that much, because we never really experienced this, but this is one advantage that random players have, is that you can't quite prepare against what they're going to do. You don't know the race right off the bat, which means they can do cheese or all-ins that you can't be prepared for.
Yeah.
Your positioning might be off at the start of the game. You're like, oh, I think I'm going to wall in. Oh, actually, if I had known, he was this race, I would have done something else.
Yeah, you have to have kind of a blankety safe build, or
you have to
a
kind
blankety
of
aggression build that can hit all 3 races.
Blankety.
Yeah, very blankety.
Blankety blank.
But the other thing is, players that are random, they aren't going to be as good at the late game.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. You have to play a lot of games with a race to get into the different situations you can be in the late game, because there's a lot of different ways you can enter the late game.
Right.
And it takes a ton of games to actually understand that.
Yeah.
That's why in the beginning, when StarCraft 2 beta just came out, we saw rush, and then we get longer games as you understand more and more. So GuMiho, as we see here, he's going to have a harder time if we get into the later game.
Yeah. As you can see, he has all 3 action figures up there. Protoss, Terran,
They
and
should have
Zerg.
given him a big foam die.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. I was like, what are we going to do for the figure up there? I guess we're going to give them all. Now, he's only 19, but he is on the team Foyu. Now, Foyu has been manhandling everybody in this tournament.
Yeah, they are.
They kind of came out of nowhere, and they just decided they're just going to be better than everybody else, and they're doing it.
They put their hands in the center of the circle. Let's be better than everyone else.
That's right.
They're like, yeah!
Let's do it, and they just shut the hands up in the air.
The best to do, though. He's like, I'm already the best.
Now, as long as this guy has some good builders prepared, he might be able to throw off his opponent.
Oh, absolutely. It's hard to play against a random player.
Especially if you're a competitive tournament player, because you very rarely actually experience that. And normally, with training etiquette, you just tell your opponent your race, even if you go random after you get it. You're like, okay, I'm Terran, so we can play a standard game. I don't believe we're forcing him to do that in this case.
Oh, of course not.
So he's going to be against ST Monster.
Yeah, from the team Startail.
Yeah, very good team.
Yep, Monster. Hopefully he's a Monster Zerg, man, because he's going to have to play very carefully against GuMiho. And the map pool is pretty interesting for a Zerg versus random matchup.
Yeah.
I really actually like this opening on Jungle Basin, because Zerg oftentimes will like to 14 hatchery there, but he's against a random guy. Maybe he'll want to do something else. It's hard.
Well, especially as Zerg, you got to be careful about how you open.
Yeah.
And that clearly is not me.
Oh, that was Moe Hesu. That's one of the Korean commentators, and they said fighting for him. So, yeah. Congratulations to him.
Drawing wasn't handsome enough to be you or me or Tosis.
No, obviously not. Look at us.
I just love what they do to your hair here.
Beep Tosis,
so
man.
good. Justin Bieber hair, man.
Yeah.
You look so much better than him, though.
I do.
Than that boy.
I look so much better than that little kid.
That little kid.
Yeah.
Whenever I lose too many StarCraft games in a row, I actually just go watch that Justin Bieber music video with the karate. You know the Karate Kid? Just,
Will Smith's
you actually
kid.
don't watch it. Go to YouTube and watch that video. It's so. I just can't stop laughing.
It's funny, man.
It's like milk's coming out of my nose. I didn't even drink milk, but it's like so funny. Let's take a look at the map lineup now. Jungle Basin, Metalopolis, and Chakras Plateau.
Yeah.
I'm serious about watching that video.
It's even funnier if you've actually seen that movie, The Karate Kid.
I haven't seen the movie, but it's oh my god,
it'll make it funnier for you, Taste. Seriously, because it is a very funny video. Anyways, Jungle Basin. It's going to be interesting. I think we might actually just see a 14 Hatchfire Zerg player there.
Yeah.
Metalopolis can take a while to scout your opponent out, and Shakura's Plateau always takes a little while to scout your opponent out.
Yeah.
I'll be interested mostly to see our Zerg player, is he going to send out a quick drone to scout? Because that's something you can do against a random player. You can just send out like a 9 drone. You're like, well, I need to know. And you just send out a drone. You lose some economy, but you gain a piece of mind, some intel. So he may do that. He may not. He may just have abilities like, okay, this is safe against everything. Or, okay, this will work against everything.
Yeah.
Who knows? There might be a lot of gambling. There might not be. I want to see if GuMiho is just a cheesy player. I want to see if he actually wants to get into some longer games. It's hard to understand. The longer you get into the game, the more complex it becomes.
Well, you end up in a scenario where you're like, okay, I've only experienced this like once before.
Yeah.
You have to have very good game sense to be a good random player.
Yeah.
Very few random players have ever really existed competitively.
Yeah. They were actually banned in StarCraft 1 after a while.
Yeah. Well, that was also because
it
was
just
like a
became
stupid
too
rule
hard,
because of
actually.
cashback.
So
that's actually some stupid arbitrary rule that they made. But I don't know if that actually enhances the game anymore. But yeah, I mean, we've hardly ever had any random players. CHRH, I think, was the last Korean.
He was.
Random. I guess people like.
Although we did see
Testy
random
come to mind,
occasionally in Pro League matches.
Yes.
It was a Zerg versus Zerg. I remember a guy went random and beat his opponent with Terran. It was hilarious.
Well, let's see what matchup we're going to get. The countdown has started. Get ready for some awesome random versus Zerg action. All right, he's Protoss. A random player spawning as Protoss on the map Jungle Basin. The only random player in the entire tournament, well, in the round of 64 rather, is
GuMiho for you.
Our Zerg player in the dark right now, unaware of what race he's going to be up against. It's going to be pretty tough. This guy has a lot of pressure on him. Let's see if he can take on this random. We need to get a dice put up there for the random player. For that, instead of those 3 action figures.
I know, that's like...
We need to get something impossible, like a 3-sided die. Now, yeah, think about that. Is that
3-sided die?
3-sided die.
It's like one very curvy side.
That's right. It's like some Mobius strip die. It makes no sense.
Well, that would be a 1-sided die.
I know.
Basis.
That was a joke, because, how could you only have something with 3 sides? Now, here we go.
Triangle. Triangle's 3 sides.
But it's also not 3-dimensional.
Well,
Mobius strip is 3-dimensional. Think about that. That's right.
My brain is melting. Stop.
Somewhere I just blew a nerd's mind.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have the probe chasing the drone. So he knows now what he's up against.
That's right. Just a Protoss. Looks like he wants to go Nexus first. Our Zerg player, I am pretty sure, will go for a hatchery first. And he might lose that drone as well.
Yeah.
It's got just 2 health left. And yeah, it really is looking like he will. No.
Still alive.
He's like, all right, whatever. Oh. He's going to... Really good harassment by GuMiho so far.
Meanwhile, Zerg gets his hatchery up. Protoss close to... excuse me. He's going to get a gateway.
Huh. I think he might be turning this into a rush. Nope.
Gateway Nexus. Interesting
Nexus.
opener.
Okay, so he's just going to want to make a Zealot. He'll probably chrono boost it out, send it over, see if he can't kill a drone or 2.
I think
Probe's
you're right.
over there softening them up anyways.
Yeah.
But, that is interesting. But again, the Nexus and the hatchery are going to be about the same timing.
Right. Meanwhile, this rush actually similar to some rushes that we saw in the late phase of StarCraft 1. On certain maps, you would get a gateway rush with a Zealot, make a Nexus, and even though you couldn't really defend with a cannon because you obviously don't have a forge or anything like that, all the attention is in the Zerg's base.
Yeah.
So if you're good at microing and multitasking, it's a pretty good opener.
Oh, absolutely. I loved it when Busan used to do builds like that from MBC game. Awesome builds. For some reason, I can't think of the name of that 4-player desert map, though. My StarCraft 1 knowledge is all stored away in the back of my brain.
It's in your subconscious now.
Yeah.
What was that map?
I don't know why I can't think of the name.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Games on that map.
All right, the Queen's out.
And
Second
we
Queen
have
on the
some
way.
wings out, taking care of this probe. There it goes.
Indeed, we do.
But here is the Zealot.
Now this is where it's going to really start to matter. I'm surprised he's actually going this way. There's less drones to get.
Going after the Queen, well, that's not going to happen. Queen can outrun the Zealot. Should actually be going after the drones, and there we go. He is now going after the drones a little bit. And the Zealot looks like it's just going to have a couple Zergling kills.
Second Zealot over here.
Look at this. He might actually get this Queen.
Oh my God. It looks like he will. About 3 hits away. Can he block the Zealot?
What's wrong with
Do not want to
chasing
lose
the
your
Queen?
Queen. Your Queen's actually slightly faster because it's on the creep.
Brave Queen right there.
Nice save.
Staring death in the face and saying hello.
Pretty gutsy.
Mm-hmm.
That was close.
Pretty standard here from Zerg right now. He is getting the lair. He is getting the spawning pool.
A lot of lings here. He did force a lot of Zerglings out.
Yeah, that's not.
And there's actually 1 sentry and 1 stalker. Looks like he will go for the rocks back here.
I like that because he's already got them hurt quite a bit. There's nothing spawning that yet. GuMiho right now sending a probe up a little bit. Going to click that and be like, oh no! Those are going to get through before he can get a cannon up there. And he has no pylon at his expansion. This could actually be a little bit gross.
Nice micro there by our Zerg.
It's a good thing he does have this stalker. Slowing down those Zerglings
He's
so
massing
much.
up so many lings right now.
Now he's going to attack the front. There's only a single sentry here, and uh-oh.
That's not going to be enough.
Those 2 Zerglings should be attacking the sentry.
Looks like he's going to try to wall himself in now.
Now, we do have, in the back of our Protoss base here, a Void Ray making.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of Warp Gates as well. Now, our Zerg player is going with Roach. You know, Roaches, again, as I said earlier, are so popular right now as opposed to Hydra openings that a lot of times after the expansion, a Protoss player will just go Void Ray blindly. But in flies the Overseer.
I don't believe he actually... Second. Did he actually get vision?
Yeah.
He sees it, so he knows what's going on.
GuMiho holding everything off quite well.
Yeah. Considering how much stuff is going on at once. Now he's just going to try to bust this down.
Smart move. He has so many Zerglings.
I'm surprised he's even turning around there.
Yeah, you'll lose like 2 Zerglings to that Stalker. Maybe 3. Forces some more Stalkers to warp in. Decides to run away. Smart move. And Mr. Void Ray is going hunting. There's an Overlord.
He's going to take out these Overlords, kind of clean up the map. Give the Zerg less map control.
Yeah, and of course, getting rid of Overlords always good, costing the Zerg some money and sometimes supply capping.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Twilight Council's on the way. We could very well see Blink upgraded now. He does have a lot of Stalkers. Phoenix and, oh, that's quite interesting. Phoenix and a Void Ray. And he's not going to be able to deal with both of these 2 units together.
A charged up Void Ray, doing a pretty good job there.
Uh-oh. Getting low. Is he going to get it?
Oh, looks like it will make it out. And this is being really annoying for our Zerg player.
Zerg with a serious amount of drones.
Yeah, seriously. He's doing great as far as economy goes. He does have 53 against 48 probes.
Yeah.
Mostly a Zergling army, though, right now.
Yeah, Zerg is almost in a transition phase where now he's going to have to start getting a ton of units.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that and also think about taking a third pretty quickly here. Now, okay. GuMiho finally is throwing up a robotics now. And getting Blink as well. Almost done +1 weapons. So he's going to want to transition now because he is forcing a lot of Hydras into some Colossus.
Yeah. You got to get that Colossus out.
Yeah.
Phoenix is very popular this season in the GSL.
Yeah, you know, they force Hydras, and a lot of times Zergs try to get a little bit over-abusive without getting Hydras, you know, just going only Roaches, in which case, you know, you can really punish them with those Stargate units.
He's got a sizable army. This Overlord here to scout. He wants to see if there is indeed a Robo Bay. And he's going to spot it now.
Yep. A lot of warp gates as well. And this third base that Zerg has taken is pretty interesting. You know, that's sometimes a hard place to actually defend.
Let's see if Protoss is going to bite.
Zealot's stuck behind the Stalkers there.
Yeah. The Zealots
careful
need to get in
about
a better
that.
position.
Yep.
Otherwise, you can't do the optimal amount of damage.
Now, you know, he did get that Robo, but still not producing anything out of it. Okay, finally starting that first Colossus. Also, Thermal Lance has been started.
These Roaches are coming up here. Blink allows those Stalkers to escape up that hill. And you can see Protoss is kind of moving around the Zerg's base here. Looks like he's going to blink through here and try to do some harassment, but Zerg's already prepared for that.
Yeah, he was in position way too quickly. Did not want to blink over. He could have lost a lot of Stalkers.
That would have been a disaster if he blinked over there. Our
Quite.
Zerg is handling himself quite well.
Yes, indeed, he is. The Stalkers now, though, coming back to the front, and if Zerg does not move his units around, there's going to be a timing where he could kill that third base.
He's sending them back on the other side.
There you go. Good creep flow. He can get right out there when he needs to.
Zerg boldly taking this center expansion.
Normally you'll see him take that side expansion
Yeah,
instead.
here, where it looks like this Protoss might actually expand.
Thing is, the Protoss can attack down these very narrow corridors in the center when they get the Colossus, as you see.
Yeah.
And use force fields very well. Not a lot of them. It only takes 2 or 3 to cut that off. Can really funnel the Zerg army down quite a bit.
Nice control here by the Zerg. Taking out one Phoenix. You see the Zerg actually can't engage the Protoss because, as Artos has said, I mean, you could just force field these areas like this.
Yeah, they're very
Shut
small.
that all off.
You need a lot of surface areas, Zerg.
We got Corruptors now.
And, you know, he's got to be careful about the Corruptors. It's hard to make the right number of Corruptors to actually take out the Colossus, because 5, it'll take a while to take out a few Colossus, but again, it'll give you more ground units to take out the rest of his army.
Okay. If he gets a lot more Corruptors, takes out the Colossuses, and wins this battle, he can switch to Broodlords like we saw Rhett do.
Yeah, that's quite true.
I think Protoss could win this battle, though, if he engages.
Yeah, this is a very scary army here. He's got a lot of Stalkers to help take out those Corruptors. The Zealots, I'm a little bit worried. The Zealots are kind of trapped in the back of his army.
Yeah, they keep getting
His
stuck
army-
under the Colossus.
Yeah, you can kind of tell that his army is kind of hotkeyed maybe a little bit poorly. He's got to get those Zealots
I wouldn't be
out so they can
surprised if
actually
it's only
hit.
under 2 hotkeys, actually.
Yeah, it looks like it's only on a couple.
All right, he's going to go in here and maybe poke again. See if he can get some shots off. But there are more and more Corruptors on the way here.
That's right. In fact, our Zerg player is maxed out right now. If we take a look at that, it is right now 175 for Protoss, 199 for Zerg. It's basically maxed out. The Protoss at this point may as well wait for the rest of his army to come out.
Yeah, there's no need to attack.
182. Yeah, you may as well have just that max army to hit. But the Zerg is pressing the issue. He wants to attack in a much more open area. Very smart. A lot of Corruptors up there right now. Very good unit composition by our Zerg player. Great place to actually go in and attack. Did not want to fight in that small area that we were talking about earlier. Great move.
Oh my God.
By Monster.
He just manhandled him back there. And now he can go to the Brutalor tech so easily.
Yeah.
And focus on making roaches too.
But he has not even started his hive yet, unfortunately. So
oh, really?
Probably not going to see that.
So these Corruptors are just flying paperweights now.
That's right. A lot of Stalkers in here, hitting away on the Hydras and the Roaches. But really, you want Colossus. The only problem is those Corruptors have done such a great job. A really good number of Corruptors right here. And look at that, just taking out instantly that Colossus army.
I have to say, GuMiho is so good with the blink. And now, I think he's just going to mess this expansion up. This could and probably will be GG.
Yeah,
because Protoss has almost exhausted this expansion.
He certainly has. It was actually a really good play by our Zerg player. I'm very impressed so far.
Really nice.
You know, ST Monster, definitely a very strong Zerg. The real key to this game was when he walked his army around and engaged not in this small choke area. This small choke area is so hard to engage in. And look at this, here we go. This is probably going to be the final battle now.
Yeah, I think so. Colossus again, only getting a few shots off before the Corruptors take him out.
That's right, and just a few Stalkers left over. More than enough units for our Zerg player to plow through.
Wow. Well done. There it is.
GG.
Well played.
Yeah.
Actually, both those guys played quite well. I think he should have been more aggressive when he had a few Colossuses and saw the Zerg expand.
Well, the Zerg, walked around and made him engage where he wanted. When he saw that Zerg army walk around, he actually walked down the ramp and engaged. Why would you do that? That's exactly where Zerg wants to fight you.
Yeah, he picked
You may as well
wrong
just walk
turf.
through the tunnel and hit his third base.
Yeah, I
Even
totally
if you base
agree.
trade there, then you're both going to be kind of mined out. And the Max Protoss army is more cost efficient normally than the Max Zerg army.
And Zerg was only on 3 base.
Yeah.
It wasn't the situation like what we saw with Rhett, where Rhett had the entire bottom right side of the map.
He needed to do very well with that attack, and he did. He made it happen.
Yeah.
GuMiho, though, as I was saying, as you get to the later game, sometimes you're going to make more wrong decisions when you're a random player.
Right.
You just get to that situation
You
much
haven't
less.
been in that situation on that map.
1/3 as much
yeah,
as
exactly,
your
1/3 as
opponent.
much.
Yeah.
So, he just wasn't quite sure how to handle it, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll do better this time. Maybe Protoss is his worst out of the 3 races.
I was just going to say that, Tasteless. You never know what his good matchups are.
Yeah.
What races he feels more comfortable with. So that may have been his absolute worst that we just saw. Who knows? Maybe
Right.
PVZ is like the matchup he doesn't want to see.
Yeah, that could be the case. Well, the next map is Metalopolis. This map is older than Jungle Basin, so he probably has more experience on it. Let's see if he can do better this time around. Get ready.